Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Using LoggerPro with Word. This is the lab help page of my website, and there are many different documents on here that would help you write up a lab report, understand how to write up a lab report, and then some ones that teach us how to do the labs themselves and handle LoggerPro. So this is Using LoggerPro with Word, which is, as you can see here, one of the documents you could download or print off. I happen to have it open already. Here it is. And it's basically going to tell us several different things we can do to help get our stuff from LoggerPro into our Word document when we're writing a lab report, and also how to make those fancy equations that I often make. So the first one's pretty easy. If you want to copy your graph into Word, so say for example you have a LoggerPro file, here's one, height versus time for a pea plant, one of those that we used earlier. And if I want to copy this graph, I simply click on the graph, go to copy, go to my Word document, paste, and there it is. When it's in there, it's a picture. It's not an active LoggerPro file, it's just a picture. And you can do all the things you can do with pictures. You can crop it, you can put it as square, you can resize it. You can do all those kinds of things if you want to do them. Okay, so that's the first thing. Very simple. Just click and paste. All right, copy and paste. All you have to do. Now, sometimes you may want to get the data tables as well. And this becomes a problem because if you just copy and paste the data table out of LoggerPro, all you're going to get is the numbers. It's kind of an Excel thing that they have going on. And if I wanted the entire data table, there's no real easy way to get it out of LoggerPro. You can't copy and paste it or something like that. So there is a way to do this, though. Have you ever used the print screen button? Print screen is usually a button near the top of your keyboard. And essentially what it does is it takes a picture, turns what your screen has into a picture, which you can then paste into a Word document and do things with it. So for example, here's everything in my lab report. If I hit the print screen button, I can then go into my Word document, and if I paste it, here's the whole thing. Right? It was everything that was on the screen when I hit the print screen button. If I click on this, I can do things like crop. Crop's a fun one. You push crop. You go down to the corners or something, and I could get rid of the schmutz on the bottom that I don't want. I could get rid of the stuff on the top I don't want. Right? That was all that other stuff that I didn't want. I could go in here now, turn off crop. I could get it to be square so when I typed things, things wouldn't interfere with it. I could resize it now, make it bigger or smaller. And notice I got the whole data table, I got the nice column headings, and I got the graph. This is a great way to get your manipulated data into your evaluation of data section, because all of those manipulated data columns, like averages and square roots, are all going to be in LoggerPro. So you might as well just print screen and paste. This is a great way, by the way, to get lots of things off the internet if you want to move things around. There's various pictures and things that teachers, of course, have fair use policies for, copyright things that we can use. And we can do print screens and paste them in and resize them. And that's the way I've done some of the pictures of equipment, say, for example, in some of the PowerPoints, is by using print screen. Great thing that a student taught me several years ago. The next thing on here is how to insert an equation into Word. And it's really quite simple, as you see here in the instructions. You're in your Word document, you move to where you want to put the equation, you select Object, that's up here, Insert, Object, and then you're going to choose Microsoft Equation 3.0. If for some reason Microsoft Equation 3.0 doesn't appear, it means it was never installed when you installed your Microsoft Word. If you're good enough at it, you could reinstall it if you have your Microsoft Word disks and get it in there. It's free. It usually comes right with Microsoft Word. There are more fancy ones that I wish I had, but I don't yet. And those are ones that can make you do also, other things like change colors and things like that that we can't do in the simple one. But this is the free one. So let's say I'm in my Word document here and I want to get out of the way, get up there. All right, so I want to put a equation in the middle of my page. So I go to Center, go to Insert, Object, and I choose Microsoft Equation 3.0. And there it is. This is the equation editor. This is where you can type things, okay? Numbers or letters. This is all the fancy stuff you can do, and you've just got to play with it. I mean, I could type in a letter, okay, and I can put things above it. That's what this is. Embellishments, they're called. I could put an arrow above it. See, now it's got an arrow on top of it. I could put a line above it. I could put an arrow and a line. If I delete, they go away, right? I could do superscripts and subscripts. Here's superscript. See how it looks with the box in the upper corner? And now whatever I type is a superscript. I could put in subscripts. Oop, well, I don't really want it there. You can always delete it if you go to the end and deletes away. I could put in a subscript. Here's a subscript. I could put in a superscript and a subscript. So I put subscript, superscript, and they're both on there. Okay, when you click, there's the thing. I can put different symbols in here. Like if I wanted the proportionality sign, it's right over here. Proportional t. Distance is proportional to time. Right? There's the equation. Nice and fancy in there. I can type in entire equations, although it takes a while. I could type in y equals mx plus d. That's how I wrote that in my PowerPoints. And I put that in there as an equation. And once you have an equation in there, if you double click on it, it turns into something that you can edit. So another way to get this is if you use my Circle Lab templates, they already have lots of equations in there. So you could simply move it to where you want, pick one up that's in there, move it to where you want it, double click on it, open it up, and change the letters. And that would be one way to get it without having to actually do the insert object thing. But either way, this is how you can get fancy things. And if you play with it, you can do fractions. Let's get out of there. Let's say I want a fraction. So there's a fraction, and I can type stuff on the top, and I can go down and type stuff on the bottom. Right? And I get fractions. I can get fractions that are diagonal, meters per second. There's some units. Right? I can, do square roots. Here's a square root. And now whatever I type in goes underneath the square root. I mean, you really can do everything. Here's calculus things right here. Here's Greek letters, lowercase Greek letters. If I wanted to put one in, I could choose one. There's a theta. Uppercase Greek letters. There's a delta. So if I want to put delta something, I can put it in there. So this really does pretty much everything. When it's in your document, you click once, you delete it, it goes away. Okay? You double click on it, it becomes editable, and you can delete things and and redo things. So there's a quick tutorial on several ways that you can use Word to help you out and to get things into LoggerPro. Okay. Thank you.